It all started with whispers, echoes from the deep. Strange seismic readings from the Mariana Trench, unlike any earthquake ever recorded. Then, the disappearances. First, it was a research submersible. The Triton vanished without a trace. Then a container ship, the Stella Maris, gone from satellite tracking in the middle of the Pacific. No distress calls, no wreckage, just gone. Governments dismissed it as rogue waves, equipment malfunction, piracy. But sailors, the old salts who know the ocean's moods, they felt it. A change in the currents, a new, unsettling silence in the deep. They spoke of a shadow, vast and fleeting, seen in sonar readings just before a vessel went dark. The world watched, oblivious, as the incidents escalated. A flotilla of fishing trawlers off the coast of Japan vanished. A luxury cruise liner in the South China Sea silenced. Panic began to ripple through the maritime industry. Insurance premiums skyrocketed. Seasoned captains refused to sail certain routes. The whispers grew louder, taking shape. An ancient fear, dredged up from the mythology of every seafaring culture, was given a new name by online communities, the anomaly. But the old name, the one whispered in seaside taverns for centuries, was the Kraken. Then, the world saw it. The U.S. Pacific Fleet, on a high-alert patrol, made contact. The initial reports were confused, frantic. An unidentified submerged object of impossible size. It wasn't an object. It rose from the depths, a living mountain of flesh and fury. Tentacles, each one the size of a skyscraper, uncoiled from the churning sea. They swatted aircraft carriers like toys, crushing destroyers with casual indifference. The most advanced naval force on the planet was annihilated in minutes, its final broadcast a scream of disbelief. The footage, leaked by a terrified intelligence officer, went viral. There was no denying it now. The myth was real, and it was here. The Kraken didn't stay in the deep Pacific. It began to move, a relentless engine of destruction. Its target seemed to be humanity's connection to the sea. It appeared off the coast of California, and the world watched in horror as two colossal tentacles wrapped around the iconic towers of the Golden Gate Bridge. The steel groaned, cables snapped like threads, and in a deafening roar, the bridge was torn apart and dragged into the bay. San Francisco was just the beginning. The port of Shanghai, the world's busiest, was reduced to a ruin of twisted cranes and sunken ships. The Suez Canal was blocked by the creature's sheer bulk, severing a vital artery of global trade. One by one, the great coastal cities, the symbols of our globalized world, were besieged. The ecological impact was immediate and catastrophic. The Kraken was an apex predator on a scale the planet had never known. It consumed entire pods of blue whales, great white sharks, anything that crossed its path. Its movements churned up the seabed, destroying ancient coral reefs and releasing massive plumes of sediment that suffocated marine life for thousands of square miles. The ocean's delicate food web collapsed. Fish populations vanished. Seabirds starved. The oceans, once a vibrant source of life, became a barren, terrifying wasteland ruled by a single, insatiable entity. Its waste products created toxic algae blooms, vast dead zones that stretched from coast to coast, visible from space. Humanity retreated from the oceans. It was an unconditional surrender. Global trade, the lifeblood of modern civilization, ceased overnight. The complex supply chains that fed, clothed, and powered our world were severed. Store shelves emptied. Fuel became a scarce luxury. Economies built on maritime commerce imploded. Coastal populations fled inland, creating a refugee crisis of unprecedented scale. The world, once connected by sea lanes, was now fragmented into isolated continents. We had become a terrestrial species once more, trapped on our landmasses, looking out at the water not with wonder, but with absolute terror. In this new, fractured world, a desperate plan was formed. A coalition of the remaining global powers, pooling their scientific and military resources, decided on a final, desperate gamble. They would lure the Kraken to a specific location, the abyssal plain near its initial appearance, a place they called the Kraken's Cradle. The bait would be a series of powerful, low-frequency acoustic lures, mimicking the calls of its prey on a massive scale. The weapon? Not missiles or bombs, which had proven useless against its hide. The plan was to detonate a series of nuclear warheads strategically placed on the seafloor, hoping to trigger a massive underwater landslide, burying the creature under billions of tons of rock and sediment, It was a planetary-scale assassination. The operation, codenamed Project Tamat, was a symphony of desperation. Autonomous drones deployed the acoustic lures, drawing the beast toward the designated kill zone. Submarines, running silent and deep, planted the warheads. The world held its breath. When the Kraken entered the target area, the countdown began. The resulting explosion was beyond comprehension. It registered on seismographs across the globe. The ocean boiled. A tsunami of biblical proportions radiated outwards, striking coastlines that had already been ravaged. For days, the water in the Pacific was a toxic radioactive soup. Did it work? For weeks, there was silence. No seismic disturbances, no new disappearances. A cautious hope began to spread. Perhaps, just perhaps, they had done it. They had killed a god. Reconnaissance drones sent to the area found a changed seafloor, a massive scar on the planet's crust. But they found no body, no biological traces. The ocean was quiet, too quiet. Humanity began the slow, painful process of rebuilding. Some brave ships started to venture out again, sticking close to the shorelines, testing the waters. The global economy, shattered and broken, showed faint signs of life. But in the deepest, darkest corners of the ocean, something was stirring. The seismic sensors, the ones that had first warned of the Kraken's arrival, began to ping again. But this time, it wasn't just one signal. It was dozens, then hundreds, then thousands. All originating from the abyssal depths, from all the oceans of the world. The explosion, the radiation, it hadn't killed the Kraken. It had triggered a response. It had woken the others. We hadn't slain the monster. We had just rung the dinner bell for its entire species. Our war with the ocean had only just begun. Thanks for watching. If you found this story chilling, hit that like button and subscribe for more dives into the unknown.